What is this music from? I realize it's a remix of the World 2 map theme from Super Mario Bros. 3, but I'm not sure if it's just a completely custom thing or if it's from another game, like Super Mario Maker or something. Anyway, salve omnes, this is I'm Amelia, also known as TheMartianGeek, and welcome back to another episode of Super Luigi Land. In the last episode, we started Sesame Sands, and we will presumably finish it this time. So let's keep going through the desert. It's flat and immense and the heat is intense. And it has very nice sunsets, apparently. Another secretive mana track here, and interesting. Bouncing Pokeys. Or are those the football sprites from punting chucks? Just graphics swapped. Because that's actually kind of clever of an idea, and my first thought upon seeing them was the bouncing cactus enemies in Yoshi's Island. You know, the little green ones where there's a head and a body and the head bounces up and down on the body, or I guess it's more like a head on top of another head, but similar principle. I guess the real question is the bounce height of these heads random, or does it have a pattern? If it looks like, so far, it's always small, medium, high, which is good because the original footballs were random, and they were never really used as hazards in that way, but if they had been, I could easily see them being a pain to get around because of the randomness. Like, oh, I'm gonna jump over it when it's small. Oh, no, it was a high jump this time. Stinks to be you. Anything... You did it again. Dang it. Well, that's a coin we're not gonna get, I bet. I feel like it makes a difference that being turn blocks, because, like, if it's breakable blocks, you could potentially have just smashed all of them before getting the one with the vine, but with turn blocks, they don't go away when you hit them. Well, I suppose no permanent harm done. So I can shoot this guy with fireballs. Or I can just jump over him. Because nobody likes him. Incidentally, has any game ever had Hammer Sisters? I can't think of a single female bro of any kind in any Mario game. Fan or otherwise. This is the future the liberals want? Hammer Sisters? Okay. Those, yeah, I should have just shelled them. Those were not synced up very well. So 4 acorns, and we have a pretty good idea where the 5th one is, and I'm not going back for it. So we're done with that one. Moving on to the fortress. Open Sesame Fortress. And we have Layer 2 Smashers. Is this the first instance we've had? The first instance of these we've seen? Because I think it is, but I'm not sure. I don't remember any previous fortresses or castles having them. We also have Bowser statues, which I also forget if we've seen earlier. Looks like there's no variable smash pattern for these, though. Just the same up and down, same speed and all that throughout the level. I also don't remember if I've ever seen anyone specifically build around a level around one of the other two Layer 2 Smash sprites, the ones that make it that make them change how they smash depending on what screen you're on. Ow. I could do it myself, but I have much better ways of making things smash like that. And speaking of Layer 2 effects, we have the on-off switch one. Ow. So if we let it... What happens if we let it go all the way down? Okay. We probably didn't need to do that, but... I also don't see this effect used too frequently. And it's another thing that's never been in any other Mario game, as far as I know. I can tell you one thing. It already looks like this area of the level puts it to a whole lot more interesting uses than the original game did in Ludwig's Castle. Like here you actually have to think about where you need to go and when you need to hit the switch and all that, instead of just hitting the switch and running. So yeah, that was kind of a neat room. And... oh, right before the boss door. I guess that's a room you want to speedrun. So yeah, Sesame Fortress, also known as let's show off all the Layer 2 moving gimmicks we can. I mean, obviously not all of them. There are a few of them she didn't use, but... still, 3 in 1 level. And of course the coins are useless now. I guess a few of the levels in the original game had more than one. Like, I'm somehow... oh, Wendy's Castle, of course. Yeah, it had the smashers in the first part, and then just basic up and down movement in the second, with no smashers. See, just imagine if this game were on the Game Boy Advance, you could get the smashers and have a full-color background at the same time. So, boss time. It's Boom Boom. And we will make him go boom. I misjudged the timing on that. Yeah, again, I can't particularly criticize her for using Boom Boom as every fortress boss, because Super Mario Bros. 3 also did it. Granted, Super Mario Bros. 3 was originally on the NES and all, but... I feel like it makes more sense for fortress bosses to be the same thing than castles. Now, having different variants of the same boss would be something. Also, more ruins. More hopping flames, no oil to put on to set on fire this time. But we do have moving blocks. Another case of a particular gimmick being used outside of, or being used in a context that it... right, forgot those were solid on the bottom. Whoops. It's another case of something being used in a context that it never was in the original game, or even a theme that it wasn't used in originally, but also manages to fit in perfectly. Like moving blocks in a ruins level, of course. Oh, that was close. This probably is a level where having a cape would make things easier than they should be, but oh well. Conspicuously empty torch there. And using different graphics for the pile driver micro Goombas was also kinda cool. Or maybe just it made him fit in with the level better. I'm not sure why that background doesn't scroll. And I'm not sure how I didn't get hit there. Well, I did there. That Koopa wanted to make up for its block-pushing comrade's failure, I guess. So, what do we have going on in this room? Again, I'm not really sure why this is a separate sub-level. It looks like now we're going to have to be a little more particular with the timing on these things. And Vine. It's coins. Okay, it's coins and an 8 coin. Whoops. Not what I meant to do. I think you could get that one without having beaten the Red Switch Palace if you used a shell, but yeah, there's a case where the cape saved me. Whoops. Yeah, that was a good level. I think it used its gimmicks and enemies and all that well. Kind of doing the Donkey Kong Country thing where like you introduce a gimmick and then you put it in increasingly more complex scenarios and combining it with other gimmicks and all that. So Sesame Sands 3, we have Fire Brothers. Fire Brothers and Koopas. And more upbeat music. Of course, more Pile Driver Micro Goombas. And yet Fire Brothers still aren't as bad as Hammer Brothers. It's funny how the most iconic member of that group is also the biggest pain in the butt to fight. We do have more of the Jumping Venus fire traps as well. I guess Fire Brothers are another enemy that's kind of underused, but more so in their game of origin than others. The only level in Super Mario Bros. 3 that had Fire Brothers was one of the hand trap levels in World 8. And there is also an enemy battle in World 2 with them. But I feel like they've shown up more in more recent Mario games. Probably still not in more than one level, but... I don't know why I stood there. That was not very safe. Remember, kids, don't stand where something is clearly about to jump on top of you. Ow. That was also very dumb. So what's the difference between the green Flying Venus fire traps and the red ones? I guess the red ones shoot twice. Ow. Darn, I thought I was safe there. And there. Well, so much for getting all the 8 coins, I guess. I don't need to worry about going in there anymore. This one didn't have a secret exit. Ow. Thinking the high road here is the way to go. Yeah, and we have Venus fire traps. They're just flying now. So back around to Sesame Sounds 4. I just feel like this one is so short compared to the last 2 worlds. We only have one more level and then the castle. Whoa. We also have the Angry Sun. You can't do a desert world in a Mario game, especially not one referencing Super Mario All-Stars, without having an Angry Sun, right? Heck, even newer Super Mario Bros. Wii did it. And the DS version. And here it comes. So, question. Can I kill the sun with the shell? Next question. Does it respawn, and if so, how quickly? I feel like this music sounds familiar too. And we have Venus fire traps. Like, is this from a Mario Kart game? Because I vaguely remember it being from Mario Kart. Yeah, we are definitely not getting more Angry Sun unless it's taking a really long time to respawn, so I may have just made the level a lot easier. Mario games are so unrealistic, you can't kill the sun in real life by throwing dead turtles at it. And if you did manage to, you'd have bigger problems. I feel like I'm overthinking this. But hey, 40 bonus stars. And I don't think we even died in that one, so it went by pretty quickly. That might have been much different if I hadn't destroyed the Angry Sun early on. But hey, it needed to chill out, it was too angry. Let's just take the first one. Nothing! I think I've gotten 4 nothings out of, what, 7 bonus games? So, we're already at Sesame Castle. And now it looks like we're going for the Super Mario Brothers 2 references, with Shy Guys, sand blocks that you can dig through, and, well, fire bars weren't in Super Mario Brothers 2. But still. I do wonder why she didn't use the custom sound effect for the sand digging sound, though. Extra long, giant, mega ultra fire bar. Uh-oh. It's a trap! Okay, more Fire Brothers, and I don't think... yeah. That one can't hit me from there. Yeah, this one seems pretty cool so far. I also have a desert level that involves digging through sand. Yeah, layer priority shenanigans going on there, but it can't be helped. Kinda silly how every time you dig through the sand, Mario also flips the cape. And hey, the sand actually has proper bottom tiles. Whoops, I don't think that was supposed to happen. Whoa, green sniffets. So we're dealing with, like, kind of a reverse Ludwig's Castle situation here. The third room of Ludwig's Castle, that is. I mean, that one was supposed to have multiple paths and be non-linear and all that, but it was pretty easy to figure out which was the correct way to go anyway. So it didn't much matter. Let's get as far away from the giant fire bar as possible, and I'm surprised we made it. And speaking of getting away from fireballs... anything here? And now that I think about it, this reminds me a little bit of Castle Crush, one of the levels that this music comes from. It's like, it's vertical, we have enemies to the sides that we can't attack because they're behind walls. Is there anything over here? So I don't actually know which way I should go here. Well, let's take the left path, I suppose. Ow. This one has green sniffets, so I don't know if that was the best choice. Well, there's the boss door anyway. So did we miss anything over here? Power up, and it looks like that one would have been easier. We have a spike drop to deal with, but... So what does Bowser have in store this time? He's throwing rocks! He has channeled his inner giant enemy crab. I mean, if we're going with Super Mario Bros. 2 references, why the heck not? Seems like a good case where you really don't want too many of the rocks to be on screen at once, because obviously it's more things to dodge. And we don't want that, no. We don't want that now, do we? We also missed an acorn somewhere, which I suppose must have been on the right path. So yeah, that was Sesame Sands. That one went by pretty quickly. But we'll see what World 6 is all about next time.